Evening, everybody. Welcome to Sphons CCW Live Show. A little disheveled tonight. A bunch of customers in the store before we start getting ready for the show, so we're just going to wing it. What we got? Schedule. 8:23 concealed carry. 8:29 NRA basic pistol. 8:30 is pistol instructor. 9:06 and 9:20 for your concealed carry or NRA basic pistol classes. So if you want to get on one of those, get on the website and get signed up. Pistol instructor still got a couple slots left in it. So if you're looking to become a pistol instructor, then you can get on the website and get your registration information for pistol instructor on the 30th. Defensive pistol, 9:12 and 9:13. That's a 2-day class. Ammo requirements are pretty high on that one. That's a really fun one to do. Going to learn a lot in there. Just want to let everybody know that if you're having trouble finding ammo for a class, we do have some stashed for class participants. Essentially, we've got enough to get through to the end of the year on full classes. So let us know if you need some ammo for class. My one page is up here. There we go. If anybody's commenting on YouTube. What else do we got? Basic rifle 10.3. Rifle instructor is 10.4. So if you're looking to get into a class, get on the website, and website link is in the description. So get up there and get signed up for something. So I always do a range and carry tip right off the bat, and we try and set them up so that it really kind of follows our defensive video. And we got a pretty good one for you tonight. The range tip, we're going to call this out. We see a lot of people pretty static at the range. Set up the drill, whatever drill you're doing, so that you're working your decision-making skills. Move around, shoot from cover, choose cover, have somebody call whether the cover's expired or not so that you have to choose another piece. You don't have to put a lot of rounds down range. Just get your decision-making skills up to the same level as your shooting skills. That way, if you need to make a decision during a dynamic situation, that division of task doesn't get you in the hind end, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah, and I think, well, just the way I see it is it's kind of a 60-40 mix. Once you learn the fundamentals and shooting skills and practice those regularly, the other 60% is all brain. So if the brain is not engaged and working, then you're losing 60% of your abilities right there. So, but
I'm trying to see if anybody's commenting, so
way down there,
ignore me for a minute.
no.
On that, on your building on that, when you're out and about in public, carrying, walking around mall, store, restaurant, whatever it might be, look for your exits and your cover beforehand. Go into a place and look at, hey, where can I get out of here? And it doesn't necessarily have to be something for, a violent attack, fire, flood, natural disaster, tree falling down, something like that. That's all going to play into that. You watch, and if you've been watching any of the riot situations or any natural disaster videos or anything like that, everybody's always running around looking for something, and I don't think they even know what they're looking for. You need to be finding exits and cover concealment
Yeah, something. You have to protect yourself, and if you're just running around willy nilly and don't have a place to go, you need to know what cover and concealment is available to you anyway. So
We're still trying to. Here we go.
there we go. Last time.
Yeah, Facebook done changed our format, so
Yeah.
now we're hunting for the right spot. Always figures just in time for the show. We're looking for the proper spot. So moving on, the if we're going to do that, we need to check out this video. We'll bring it up here, and I got this from criminalists.net, and their website was really funky, so I had to pre-record it to show it to you. This looks like it's a cell phone store or something like that. And I need to congratulate this guy on his awareness for his customers coming in to begin with, because he is pretty on point for what's about to happen. He draws, out he goes. So obviously this particular person's got some type of weapon in their hand here. We don't know what it is yet, but he's going to kind of keep his wits about him, step back. He's going to push the alarm button, right? And obviously he's telling the guy to get on the ground. Now here's the problem and the issue I'm taking with this. He's coming around the counter. We don't know what weapon is in his hand yet. If it was a firearm, the counter offers no cover going this direction. So if it's coming at him, pretty much no cover. But if you add up all of these shelves or dividers all the way through there, if this guy was going to shoot this direction, then it's going to offer a little better cover than the 90 degree or 12 o'clock position.
Right.
So he's giving up his cover, and you don't want to do that.
No.
I don't know if he knows what type of weapon is in the guy's hand, but you don't want to give up your cover ever, unless you're forced to. So he's going to come around, and obviously you can see he's yelling at this guy. There's no sound on the video, so we can't tell what he's saying. The guy's reluctantly getting on the ground. So this is suspect to begin with. So he lets go of the weapon, and the guy approaches. I would not have approached.
No.
Looks through his backpack, kicks it out of the way. Looks like he goes over and locks the door. And I'm not sure about that, but why else would you go over to the door? He's already pushed the alarm button, so hopefully police are on the way. He comes back, kicks the thing, but now I want you to notice, now he's not paying attention to his suspect.
No.
He turns his back on the guy. He's not a police officer. He didn't check all the way around his waistband. You just don't know. So I wouldn't have given up my cover. I'd have ordered him to the ground. I'd have had him throw the weapon farther away from himself and stayed right there, back in this corner, created distance between him and myself. That way I had time to react if he tried anything. Now we're going for a telephone. We're going to look at the telephone and not the particular guy who just decided he was going to try and rob me. And now we're going to turn our back on the guy again. What started out great is now kind of not so great. He's moseying around behind a sign. The guy just tried to rob you with a knife. Obviously, he doesn't care about your safety, so you're gonna have to stay a little more on point with this than moseying around behind a sign. Now, this eventually does turn out okay.
Well, this guy, he could have, at that point, he's got no weapon. He could have got up and left. He's
Yeah,
not a threat.
yeah,
And that guy, there was no reason for him to shoot him.
no,
So,
he could have. I think that's probably why he went over and locked the door.
yeah.
But I'm not sure that he locked the door. He might have checked to see if there was anybody else outside.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly.
But he had to turn his attention away from the guy that decided to come in and rob your place of business with a knife
Yeah.
multiple times to, you know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I would not have turned my attention away from him. I wouldn't have given up my cover. And,
No.
you know, there's obviously, I don't know what this is laying here on the counter, but he went and got the phone from over here.
Right.
You already pushed the alarm button. We watched him do that. The police should be on their way. They might take a half an hour to get there, but whatever. Anyway, we're here to learn about this kind of stuff and watch as much video as we can to see what people will do. And I think this is I think really what this is with him moseying around out here in the showroom floor and turning his back. I think that's just a result of stress. The guy just tried to rob him with a knife. So, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it.
He obviously turned out okay.
Right.
He was on point with his awareness of the customer coming in, and he knew something was wrong right to begin with.
If somebody comes in with something wrapped around their hand like that, I don't care if you are what business you're working at. That's a little fishy anyway.
Right?
So,
yeah, either the guy's
right.
injured himself or he's there to rob you, one of the two.
Yeah.
So I'm not seeing it be a friendly type conversation
Right.
that is going on.
There it is.
Yep, there we go. So that's what we're looking at. Got a different opinion? Leave us something in the comments and let us know what you think. Try to get some news up for you guys. First thing we got, Henry's got a recall going. H015 single shot owners. They are voluntarily recalling all these single shot rifles and shotguns. They recently discovered a potential safety issue wherein under certain conditions it's possible that these models may discharge without the trigger being pulled if the hammer is partially cocked and released. To prevent the possibility of death or serious injury, you should immediately stop using them and send them back to Henry Repeating Arms.
Mm-hmm.
Little piece of trivia.
They'll take. It won't cost you anything to send them back.
I'm sure.
So.
This is Henry's first recall.
Yeah.
They've never had an issue with anything before. So, if you got one of these, I know we've seen a bunch of them around our area. If you have one, send it back to Henry.
Yeah, bring it here. We can send it back for you.
Yeah.
We just call Henry and get a tag, send it out.
That's that video. We got a local thing here from Jordan Miller. Once again, guys, everything that we talk about tonight, there's a link in the description of the video. So if you want to go check this stuff out for yourself, you can do so. Looks like the Wayne County Sheriff deputies caught this guy, Robert Dick. He's a suspect in a double homicide at a Medina home. I saw a news article the other day about a Medina home that they found two bodies in, and then they started looking for somebody. Well, they actually caught the guy, and you guys can go check out this body camera footage. says authorities received a tip around 11:50 p.m. that the suspect was spotted at Dragway 42 in West Salem, Ohio. I've never been to Dragway 42, but I've heard it.
Up by.
It says Mr. Dick was complied when confronted by the arresting officers, and it was the Wayne County Sheriff who actually caught this fella. Just kind of seems funny. He's got two first names.
Yeah.
Robert and Dick. I don't know. So thankfully they caught this guy. The next one you got for you here is something that I hadn't really thought about. And just the simple fact that the vast majority of people that we're seeing in class and the rise in female gun owners, should you shoot when you're pregnant? I know certain doctors will say yes, and certain doctors will say no. This article kind of highlights that you really should kind of discuss that with your doctor, and that
Right.
The sound does actually transmit to the child, so you're really not going to want to have a newborn with hearing damage.
No.
And this lady, Julie Golub, she's a Division 7 USPSA national champion. She's really good at what she does. She's had a couple of kids while she's involved in the shooting sports. So, and literally, she says there's a certain point in time when you should not be shooting. So, take it for what it is. Read the article. They got some pretty good resources in there. There's a resource for expecting moms. She's got this 8-page booklet that's pretty good. I went and checked it out a little bit. So, it's something to think about if you have a little one on the way, and check it out.
And even the concussion is going to transmit into your body. No doubt about it. It always does. Right. So, you with the noise and the concussion, probably not a good idea at some point in time. Sure, your doctor will be able to help you decide that better than we can.
Certainly.
But,
the next thing we got going on, I got this from Law Enforcement Today, and to be honest with you, I really kind of thought this was going to happen sooner than it did. But what they're saying, reports of groups canvassing residential neighborhoods, taking photos of homes with police cars in driveways. My wife's got a cousin who, her husband is a state trooper, and he's had some issues with his car in a driveway and people in the area. So I don't think this is a new thing. I think it's kind of been there a while. It's just kind of ramping up. If we run down through this article here, at some point in time, Law Enforcement Today says it's worth noting we have not received any confirmation from the FBI. With that said, a number of agencies have confirmed for us off the record that they are aware of it and are making internal changes. We've been asked for obvious reasons not to report which agencies they are, although I bet you folks out there could probably hamper a guess. A number of different communities in the states ranging from California to Texas and Florida, reports have come in that small groups of individuals appear to be canvassing neighborhoods, taking pictures of homes that have police cruisers. I can absolutely confirm this, told one police spokesman who asked his department be kept anonymous because of the threats. We received multiple reports throughout the weekend, both in terms of phone calls and alerts, that neighborhood residents are putting out on community watch apps.
Yeah. But these are peaceful protesters, you know.
I know, right? We and our children are receiving threats, one police lieutenant told law enforcement today. The departments they spoke with said they're currently making policy changes so that take-home police cruisers are either garaged or for now left at the department. We expect danger when on the job, said one sergeant, but it's different. They're threatening to burn down our homes and kill our families, which probably isn't the wisest idea in the world. Officials told us that they're instructing officers to make other changes, such as making sure uniforms aren't hanging in personal vehicles when driving to and from work. We've seen that in the past be an issue. Effective starting this past weekend, no police vehicles, including unmarked vehicles, will be brought up. One captain told law enforcement today, this isn't to punish our guys, it's to protect them and their families. So there's at least one department in the country essentially saying you cannot take your police cruiser home with you or your police vehicle. And they've got an email that if you have any information about this happening, you can send it at the media lawenforcementtoday.com. That's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
I wouldn't put it past some people to do that, but
even then, you know, been seeing a lot more lately. You have protests in front of city council people's houses, mayors' houses, governors' houses, et cetera, et cetera. You know, and who knows what the end game is? You know, other than to take down our government.
yeah.
So
I mean, I'm all for redress of grievances, but
yeah,
at some point in time, they're not.
it's some
Like,
point
they need
in
a break,
time
too.
it becomes terrorism.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, people aren't going to put up with it.
No. So now we got a feel-good story for you here. 5 young men are honored for rescuing a Washington deputy under attack from a suspect. We've heard about this 3 or 4 times over the last couple years where people have helped out an officer in need. Authorities in Washington state are praising the actions of 5 young men who stepped in to help a deputy under attack from a suspected drunken driver who was allegedly trying to flee the scene of a car accident. King County Sheriff, I think it's Mitzi, and I'm not even going to try for that last name, presented the 5 young men Monday with a Medal of Heroism, an award that was created to honor community members who do extraordinary things, according to the sheriff's office. The honorees were identified as 16-year-old Daryl Swilly, 17-year-old Isaiah Sandsaber, 18-year-old Tyron Powell, and 18-year-old Kai Tavares, and 19-year-old Dominic Sunsaber. We can't thank these young men enough. They're true heroes, wrote the sheriff's office on Facebook. So, looks like Deputy Elliott, who was off duty and driving her patrol car home, was flagged down at the scene of a car crash that involved multiple vehicles, 1 a.m. July 18th in Auburn, Washington. Elliott checked to make sure no one was injured. The suspected drunken driver believed to have caused the accident began walking away from the scene. The deputy tried to physically detain him, but the suspect fought back, according to the sheriff's office. The suspect put Elliott in a chokehold, and as she struggled to breathe, she heard several young men's voices yelling, "Get off her!" The 5 young men jumped on and subdued the suspect, helping the deputy to get free and handcuff him. Elliott suffered scrapes and bruising from the incident, but was not seriously injured. Authorities say the young men's actions quite possibly saved her life. Moms and dads, you should be proud of these kids, wrote the sheriff's office on their Facebook page. The suspect, who was not identified, was arrested for felonious assault of an officer and driving under the influence. He had several other warrants for his arrest, including DUI and driving with a suspended license. So it doesn't look like this guy was a real stand-up citizen to begin with if he's got a couple warrants already out there. I mean,
yeah,
come on, guys.
Yeah. If you're going to leave your car there, they already have your information. They know where you're at.
Well, certainly, and then
It's like,
try and get away and then attack the police officers. They're off duty by himself or by herself, it sounds like.
right.
Just ridiculous. So good job for those guys.
Yeah.
So I think by now everybody's heard about the lawsuit that the New York Attorney General, I do believe, is who filed it against the NRA. Even though there's some may or may not be some issues inside of the NRA with the money that they spend and what they do with it. Everybody pretty much agrees it's a political attack and kind of baseless. It's been kind of brewing for a while. Everybody knew this was coming. Well, now the NRA's filed a lawsuit against New York in retaliation. So I don't know where this struggle is going to end up, but all we can do is hope that it ends up in our favor, taking down what they want to do, taking the NRA out of the picture, would be bad on all fronts.
Yeah, not only would that be detrimental to us, it would be detrimental to the 2A society as a whole.
Certainly.
So,
And I think we're going to see a long road ahead going in here. Hopefully, somebody can step in and kind of fix some of these issues. And really, from the reading that I've done, and I'm no attorney or anything like that, but I guess really they filed civil action against them and no criminal charges. And I don't really understand how civil action is going to do anything other than bleed money out of the organization. Because if you haven't filed any criminal charges, then how do you?
Well, that's what they want to do, is bleed the money out of the organization and put it out of business.
And maybe the idea is to file civil action against them until they're out of money, and then file criminal charges so that they can't defend themselves in court. I don't know. I don't understand how you would essentially take a corporation out of business without filing some type of criminal charge to do that.
The other thing is, they're trying to sue the NRA out of business, but what about all the money that New York City is spending on this to litigate it? They've been in court for years already.
Yeah, millions and millions and millions.
That's taxpayer dollars.
Exactly.
I don't understand. I sure don't want to pay this DA or AG in New York State to file suits against a business to put them out of business.
Right.
But
I mean, it seems like to me if they had evidence enough to take them to court of some type of wrongdoing, then they would have filed criminal charges on them.
It would seem as though.
I mean, the suit allegedly says that they stole money from the organization, which I don't know if they did or they didn't. But if they stole money from the organization, you would think that would be a criminal act.
There would be a criminal act against a person instead of filing suit against the NRA itself.
I mean,
that's what they normally do.
You would think. So I don't know how this is going to play out. Let's hope it plays out for the better of everybody involved in the 2A community, and we can see some resolution at some point in time, because it's bad no matter what way you slice it. No matter who wins this, it's bad.
Right.
There's no upside. There's no good side to it.
The only one that's doing anything to help anything is the lawyers are helping themselves.
Yeah,
that's it.
Essentially. So that's our short stint of news. Didn't have much locally to go on. We do have a product of the week for you guys. Something that we've been using and selling for a while. You might want to check it out. Consume and Express. I know we've talked about these in the past. They've got a couple of different models, and I grabbed both in the waistband, I do believe.
They're both in the waist?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a paddle.
Yeah, outside the waistband. So they come out with a couple new models. They've got their standard in the waistband holster, high quality Kydex, high quality fasteners, adjustable Reasonably priced for what you get. These are turned out to be very good quality holsters. We like them a lot. A while back, they released this paddle, and it's kind of really designed to compete with a Phobos line, I think. And we found that paddle holsters are really popular, especially for range use and different guns and things like that, because they're so convenient to get on and off. And they come up with this paddle design that it's got these little hooks on it, and it kind of locks into your clothing and under your belt. Same quality holster, same material, locks in just as well. Adjustable retention. A bunch of different gun models are available.
And they have a line too for light bearing too.
Yeah, there are certain light and laser combos that they do have, which is a big plus. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was they're sending me a pancake holster, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I've never seen it, so we're gonna evaluate that when I get it and see what it's like. Being the quality of this company, I haven't seen really anything bad come out of them. Nothing really to complain about at all. They make
they have
good
a lot
stuff.
better retention than the Phobos does.
They
too,
do.
So.
And the Phobos is made out of nylon style plastic, and these are made out of Kydex. One of the biggest things with the Phobos is if the gun is really hot and you reholster, you can actually melt the holster.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is you can break the paddle if you twist on it hard enough because it's a nylon and they're riveted. Right. Yeah. And I think this solves a lot of those problems, and it literally hooks into your clothing, so you're not going to get it off in there. We've tried these out, several different models, and they work really well.
Yep.
Tried the in the waistband; they work really well. Nobody has ever brought one back and said, I don't really like this holster.
No, we haven't ever had one of those come back.
Ever.
And they're made in Florida.
Yeah.
Sold in Florida.
And here's the cool part about it is if you buy a Consume Express product, once you get to the back of the packaging, and I'll show you guys this, the last line, unconditional lifetime warranty.
Yep. They'll replace it for nothing.
So they just mail you one, which says a lot about their confidence in their product. So if you're in the market for a holster, yes, Mike commenting. If you're in the market for a holster, Consume Express makes awesome stuff. And yes, Budget Guns Gear Reviews, I do agree Mr. LaPierre probably needs to take a step back. And I think he's agreeing that Consume Express makes awesome stuff.
They do make awesome stuff.
So
and
that's
and they're growing all the time.
Yeah.
And in the last couple of years, we've seen them grow exponentially.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited to get this pancake holster that they're sending me so I can kind of review it and figure it out. And I don't know. My idea of a pancake holster is an out of the waistband, kind of like a leather thing, but
right.
We sell a ton of, and people are really happy with, and I use it myself, a Stealth Operator, and it's really comfortable. I really like it. A lot of people, it's multi-gun fit, but it is, once again, kind of a nylon-ish material, and it's not the rugged Kydex. If they make a pancake with belt loops on that's similar to a Stealth Operator, that would be awesome in this quality.
Yeah, that's for sure. And pricing runs about $30 for those, unless you got something really obscure. And for a holster with that kind of retention and that kind of fit, that's a buy and a half, really.
Yeah. Well, we got a short one here for you tonight. That's what we got for you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your opinions, and thanks for spending your time with us. I'd like to, if Mike is still there, I don't know if I'm going to make it to your show tonight because I got a class in the morning. But we will see you guys right back here next week, 7 o'clock on Friday, to ramble on about carrying our firearms and what to do and what not to do. Have a little fun at it. So,
Yeah.
thanks for joining in, guys, and we will see you next week as soon as I get my computer to work.